everybody, it's Amy and welcome back to A Home for the Holidays. So we are home. Yes, we are. We did move in successfully on Wednesday. It has been an ordeal and we're going to give you that real-time update here in just a minute. But this episode is going to be all about our traditions, our superstitions, as well as some of the services that we used in order to get us from our old home to the new home. But first, a real-time update.
So we are into the house.
We are.
I'm so relieved, but I'm so tired.
I know it is exhausting, but it's fun. It's kind of like an energized exhaustion, if that makes sense.
It is. As we're recording this, you have 2 phone calls to do with folks, somebody from North Carolina and someone from California, I think.
Well, and it's
I love it. It's fantastic, but it's like we're sort of back to it now.
And it's like, yes, but it's like the painters just left, so I've been not able to do the things I need to and want to do in the home because the painters were there, and I'm trying not to be underfoot, and we just finished doing that, and now I have 2 phone calls, which will take me through the evening, and by then the day's gone. So this is why it's going to take us forever to actually move in.
It is.
The first update is that we are painting. We are still painting. It has been about 5 days worth of painting, and I think we're going to be done tomorrow.
So the painters are here. They've been here. They're still here, and they're really doing a really good job. And the house looks beautiful. Their work is fantastic. But we are ready to be done. I think we're on day 5 now of the house painting. We have 1 more day to go. And we're ready to have our house to ourselves because it's just been painters. One of the great things about where we live now is that we're near our son and son-in-law and daughter. Mm-hmm. And so we took their coffee creamer. So Amy's going to take their coffee creamer, and I'm going to talk to you about my electronic frenzy. Is that okay? Can I talk about that?
I'm going to turn this up too.
Because it's been a frenzy. I've been buying lots of things.
I have never seen so many gadgets and gizmos and lights and cords and adapters and his multiple trips back and forth to the stores to get everything. But I will have to tell you, it's looking really cool. So go for it, Eric.
I always get to get a new TV for somewhere. And I did get one TV for the family room, partly because we didn't have a stand for it anymore. So I was like, well, I'll just buy a new TV to fit in the stand. But the second part is I bought an 85-inch Sony Bravia, beautiful, just, I love it. I haven't been able to put it in yet because the painters are still painting, but then I bought a bunch of hue lights, color changing lights for the front and for Amy's office and for my office. And every time I go to Best Buy or Lowe's, it seems like I'm buying new stuff. So I'm gonna stop doing that. So I talked to everyone and they said that it's okay with them if I buy more stuff. I think I might be done.
He's giving TVs away. We have all of these TVs.
No, to our daughter. It didn't have a stand. So you bought a piece of furniture, which meant I couldn't mount the TV. So I had to buy a TV that had a stand because we got rid of the stand a long time ago. So that left me with the one extra TV because I have to mount the TV in the media room. Yes, it's your fault. So I have more things. And you don't get to criticize shopping ever.
True. Everything is missing. No matter what I'm looking for, I saw it 2 seconds ago and now it is nowhere to be found. And that includes a gigantic bag filled with all sorts of nails and picture hangers, all the things that I need kind of immediately, I cannot find. And as soon as I find something else to make it work, then I find my big bag. So ultimately, everything is missing.
Perfect example of how everything is missing. This shirt, I love this shirt. This is my best friend, Daryl Ross. This is his podcast, Unity Works. He gave me a shirt, and that's nice. But it's the only shirt I have. I don't have any clothes. I had to wash some underwear that I had used in the hotel that I was staying at. Just all of my stuff is in boxes in the garage, and I don't know where any of my clothes are. So everything is missing, and people keep moving my tools. And what really is happening, I'm man enough to admit, what's really happening is I forget where I put my tools, but then to preserve my manliness, I accuse them of having moved my tools. I know that that's the case.
Also, candidly, we're tired. We are really, really tired. It is exhausting, and we've had lots of help from our family moving boxes in, but it is just a difficult process We all go through it, right? It just seems like it doesn't really get easier. The more you've done it, it feels like it should get easier. But in our case, I don't know, this one was a bit tough. We are so grateful for this home. And I think one of the things that we probably underestimated emotionally is how overwhelmed with gratitude we are for this home. I mean, we're grateful for it. We've talked about that before, but there's just an overwhelming joy. We walk through the home, and Erica and I will lean over and we'll whispering to each other, like, I don't believe this is our home, or I don't believe we get to live here. We're just so grateful for this home and for every single hand that touched this home to build it for us. Imperfections and all, we are so grateful for this gorgeous home.
We have had a few moments where, through this process and so sort of the tour of our life that we've been giving you, you've seen us get a little emotional. I was not expecting to get as emotional as I've gotten in the house a few times. I get almost near tears, and I just think this is our house. And it's just a really nice house. And Amy has done a really good job with design things and everything. And so I just sometimes, I can't really believe that this is where I live. It's kind of amazing.
You know that one of our favorites of the home is the master bathroom, and specifically Eric's shower. It really is gorgeous. It is stunning, but
the way I described it to Amy was that this is a little bit like being in a German art exhibition where it's like, American take shower. So if you're in here, we have a rule now that no one's allowed to be in the bathroom while anyone's taking a shower, because it's just, you feel like you're on display. So, and then secondly, I feel very great about the shower, and sometimes I feel like the shower, we spent a lot of money on the shower, it's a little ostentatious, but to humble me, my dog took a big dump right here in the shower on the first day that we were here, and I showered with the poop in there, and here she comes now. Hi Maggie, how are you? You coming to take a dump? I love Dogtopia. Like, I am a Dogtopian. Well, we call it Dogtopia, where the dogs get to live now.
And this is Dogtopia. One of the main reasons that we moved and decided to build a new home was for the backyard space, so that our dogs could run, so that they could play, so that they could actually have so much fun back here. And I will tell you, it is glorious. It is heavenly.
First time that and we'll show it because our daughter recorded it. The first time we let the dogs out the door and they ran into Dogtopia. Yeah. I mean, honestly, one of the happiest moments of my whole life. We love those dogs so much.
We do. But it wasn't, it was the recognition that they weren't just in a place. It was almost like, oh, wait, we can run here.
Yeah,
and it was like they flipped a switch inside. And
they've been freaking out because we were packing for a month, at least a month. And at one point, Lucy, who is she's the bully, she's like the alpha dog, she was on top of the stairs at her old house. She was crying because I think just the stress, and it broke my heart. I was like, what is going on? So to see them run out the door and and they were out in the yard for like an hour or two, just running around, just having the best time. It was fantastic.
Probably one of our biggest and most significant and important traditions is bowing to our home for the service and protection and shelter that it gave us, and to kind of, acknowledge the new home and send the well wishes that way. But there's actually a Jason Mraz song called 3 Little Things that actually references it very well. I believe the lyrics are, I pause, take a breath, and bow, and I let that chapter end. So that actually is a really, really great lyric, and it's a great message when you are leaving something like that. So so our whole family gathered together at our home in Virginia. We bowed to it before we moved here, and then we also had a bow when we left our other home to move into this beautiful one.
When we left Yorktown, Virginia, I remember the bow that we all did to the house. And it's a very Eastern thing. I think in America, we should bow more. It's a great gesture of respect and empathy, and it makes you feel good too. So we should do more of that. And I remember bowing to the house in Yorktown, and it was really healing to us. And so we bowed, Amy and I, in the frenzy, we all bowed at our different times, but Amy and I literally walked out in front of the house at 8 o'clock in the morning when we left Vincetta Circle, and we did a deep bow to the house, and some of the neighbors out walking might have seen us and thought that was a little strange. We don't care. That's our tradition, and it's beautiful. And I bowed to this house when we came to it. I absolutely recommend it. You should try that, because it's a really healing, spiritual thing, and I couldn't recommend it more.
A new tradition that we have is this Black Deacon's bench right here. This was a bench that we've actually had in storage in our garage ever since we moved here from Virginia, never having the opportunity or the place to actually do anything with it. For any of you that knew me as Miss Amy back when we were, I was a dancer and a dance teacher, these were the deacon's benches that used to sit in the waiting room. And I did keep one for myself just for sentimental reasons. And before we moved here into this home, I actually spray painted it black. I left all of the dings in it because I can tell that right here along these rungs are the scratches indented by my students' tap shoes. So this is actually a really special piece to me, and I love it.
We need to decide some things about trees. We have our gratitude tree we'll talk about in a minute, but we need a tree for your father. We have a tree for your mother, the magnolia in the back. Mm-hmm. It's going to be for your mom. Yep. Why is that, by the way?
We had a gigantic magnolia tree in our backyard by our pool. Mm-hmm. When I was growing up in Virginia, and I used to love to make, like, mud pies. Yeah. But I would step up a notch, of course, by pulling the magnolia flowers and the seeds and all of that out of the magnolia flower. And my mom used to fuss at me because obviously I was mutilating the actual flower and the bud and all of that.
She loved that tree, so now we'll have a tree, magnolia for her. We need a big, strong tree for your father. We do. Remember him by. Mm-hmm.
But I have to be able to hang ornaments on it.
Yes, it's got to be a Christmas sort of tree.
Yeah, I think so.
And maybe we'll do an evergreen. Maybe we'll just do an evergreen. Yeah. And then for my parents, just something flowering for my mother, and something, I don't know, for my dad, I always feel like a river birch, but I don't know if we're allowed to plant river birches. We'll see. Just he's very much into nature and those kind of things. So an oak would be fine. Yeah. And then we have a crepe myrtle for your grandma. So the tree thing is very important to us. Yeah.
This is the tree that we've designated as our grateful or our gratitude tree. We talked before in one of the other videos that when we plant the trees, and we talked about it earlier, that planting trees is a tradition for us. But in this home, we're going to do our gratitude or our grateful tree. And this is to symbolize just all those, everyone, you included, anyone that has anything to do with us, with our career, with helping us, with building this home, whether your hands were physically on it or not. We appreciate everybody in the process. So really kind of poignant is that, first of all, this was going to be a magnolia or whatever tree that the builder needs. There was a mix-up in the home. There was a small problem. The builder said, hey, you know what, to kind of help compensate a little bit, why don't I get you a palm tree? He said a foxtail palm. So we've been all excited about a foxtail palm. So we were supposed to have a foxtail palm, and when they delivered it, this is a Christmas palm. Now this Christmas palm is beautiful. I love it. It still has the 3 trunks that was really kind of the aesthetic that I wanted here in this one. But I just think it's really funny and very appropriate that it's not what we expected, but it is still beautiful nonetheless. And we are truly grateful.
Superstition that we have, and I don't believe in any of this stuff, okay? So, but Kipper Hare, a friend of Amy's, a dancer, he was Fred Astaire to her Ginger Rogers, gave us a rock, a green rock, and he said, this will bring you good fortune if you put it in the window at the back corner of your home.
He came to visit, and he brought all of us a gift, including the kids, and brought them each of them kind of a little beautiful, like, gems and things. Yeah. They're really pretty. Yeah. But he gave us this beautiful green rock, and said it was, if you put it in your home, it is supposed to bring you,
fortune. And he said, this will bring you good fortune if you put it in the window at the back corner of your home. So we did. And right about then is when Amy got into real estate, and things have been going really well. So I can tell you that I don't generally believe in that stuff, but that rock is going in the back corner of our house because ever since we let rock in, things have been going really well.
Well, how do you not? If it's, first of all, it's beautiful. I mean, I love it. It's just a gorgeous, like a green color, and
yes,
how would you not?
Of course,
go ahead and display it anyway. So hey, if there's a little something to it, then.
And if there's not, what's it hurt?
What's it hurt, right?
Another tradition we have for Christmas is the angel that goes at the top of the tree. We alternate years with our children. We've also added this in when they become adults, that they would be required to then come and visit us on Christmas in the case that all of our children are dispersed across the country. So I believe our oldest son, Forrest, is years that end in a 1 or a 6. Our daughter, Alyssa and Hong, they would be 2 and 7. Elizabeth, 3 and 8, Dawson, 4 and 9, and then Eric and I get to put the angel on the top of the tree on years that end with a 0 or a 5. I think I'm right.
Bellhop was my idea. I take full responsibility and credit for it. This was a weird move because we were local, but we had this gap in the middle. So we had to do pods. And so I looked up this thing, found Bellhop, and it's like, just basically movers for hire.
Bellhop is basically muscle. It's guys, there's probably some females out there too, but some guys with muscles. They're really to help transport your stuff. I won't say that they're actually professional movers per se, as far as packing and wrapping and strategically placing and storing and stacking. But if you tell them where you need to take this package or piece of furniture, they lift it, they carry it where it needs to be.
I thought our 2 Bellhop crews were distinct.
Yes.
So our first lead, the lead texted you the night before, and they came out and they were on time, energetic,
yep.
Had lots of they were just like, whatever you need, let's go.
They're great.
They're fantastic, and I thought they did a really good job. Maybe a couple of scratches here and there, but I think that we might have expected that from a moving company, but they went over and above, I thought, from what my expectation was. Our second crew was fine. They were fine.
Yeah.
But I remember they got out of the car, and my son-in-law was like, I think we're stronger than them.
Price-wise, I think it was very reasonable for the service that it was. It was, I believe, kind of an hourly-based type of a thing, and you could kind of book them for whatever day of the week that you might need them in whatever time frame, 2 hours, 3 hours, 2 guys, 3 guys. And that, of course, would be dependent on your type of a move. Would we use the service again? I think in the right situation, yes. For a move, I don't think so. I think we might try a more, even if it's a close local move, I think we might try to enlist the help of actual movers to pack, stack, and store and transport.
Pods was cool, and it was necessary because of this move, because we had to move out of our house, then we had a gap, then we had to move into this house, and we were going to load it all ourselves, partly because of that gap. Pods made a lot of sense, and I could not recommend them more highly. By the way, no one's paying us for these reviews or endorsements. These are just the services that we used. But I would absolutely 100% use them again. The only negative in our house that we came from, tore up the grass a little bit, but that's partly my fault. I asked them to put it on the driveway as far to the right as possible, so we could still park one car on the side. But I shouldn't have done that because it meant they had to move this heavy stuff over the grass, and it kind of chewed up the grass. But the price was very good, especially relative to having a moving service. Of course, the negative was had to do it all myself.
Bagster. I love Bagster. I love it. We've used it many times, and knowing that it existed, by the way, so many people don't know that it exists. So Bagster is like a kind of like a tarp fabric, thick tarp fabric dumpster. It just unfolds and you put it in your front yard. It has these massive straps on it. You call your local waste department, recycling, trash, whatever, and you can schedule it online. You can pay a little extra and they can schedule it to guarantee it on a specific day. So we used it many times for just cleaning out our garage and sizing down the house a little bit, definitely to moving. And if I could do it again, I would also order a Baxter as we're moving into the new home for all of the trash and all of that extra stuff that you seem to find when you're moving in. So Baxter, absolutely, for the price, fabulous, convenience, amazing, love it.
U-Haul. I really liked using U-Haul, and I wish I had done more U-Haul. U-Haul is a great thing when it's $20 for the truck each day plus mileage. If I were doing this move again, I would have a U-Haul just on standby that's sitting there empty, just because it would be nice to just know that that was there. On the night that I moved everything out of the pod, the night I moved everything out of the storage shed, to get it here to position it for closing and all of that, I wished I had had another truck, because then I could have had more stuff staged. There were just some times when it was like it got too late at night for me to rent a new truck, so it was fine. Only negative thing is they have a whole thing on an app where you can like rent the truck yourself. You never have to go inside. It takes about 4 times as long to do it on the app as just walking inside. So go during office hours, walk inside, and reserve the truck online, but then go inside to get the keys. It's so much simpler. If you want to use it to drop off the truck at night, which I did, I dropped off the second and third trucks. I dropped them off like 10 o'clock at night, the night before they were due back. So that was helpful, but always just go inside.
I ordered quite a bit of furniture, actually more than I probably had originally anticipated, but some of it just, the rooms were different here in this home than what we had before, and so it was an excuse to buy new stuff. So I will say I ordered furniture from several different furniture companies. I did order some from Rooms to Go. That's mostly for my teenage son's room. I also ordered from Haverty's, and I also ordered from City Furniture. Of course, I did some miscellaneous odds and end pieces from like Wayfair and Overstock and places like that. But as far as actual furniture, I did order those months and months and months ago, and we're still waiting on a few back ordered pieces. Some won't be here until January, and even though I ordered it probably 5 or 6 months ago. So as we talk about building material delays, just know that it's a delay with everything, everywhere, for everyone. But I'm excited with what's come in so far. Give us a couple weeks. Let me continue to weed through the boxes that are actually surrounding you and you don't even know it because they're all back behind you. Once we clear out the house, we're going to give you a full tour of the home. Hopefully by then it will be painted. We'll have some of the decorations up and we will share that with you. But until then, we're going to get back to some Sunday drives and some home tours for normal. Thank you for being patient with us and for honestly for just traveling along this journey with us. So that is about it for today. We appreciate you guys so much. Have a great day and happy house hunting.